everybody, I'm Duff, and I'm your host for another very special Ultimate Golf VIP tournament. A fun chance for you guys to play alongside hole for hole with some celebrities, some fellow players, and even some game developers. Along the way, you're going to complete some missions. As you complete those, we're going to throw some absolutely amazing prizes at you. And today, joining us is a game developer. He's a 3-year veteran to Ultimate Golf. We are joined by Hyp Andrew. Andrew, welcome to your VIP tournament.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
I've been excited for this one. We're going to go ahead and play Saadiyat. You can start whenever you want here, my man. And we're just going to have a nice little chat as you make your way around this golf course. So 3 years. I know you've done a good, variety of roles within Ultimate Golf. How did it all start, Andrew? What was your first job with Ultimate Golf?
I started out as an intern. As just a summer job on QA. So QA, for those not in the know, is quality assurance. So that's essentially game testing. That's making sure the product, works. And I'm playing here with a Pro B3 ball. So 3 years ago, that was when the whole thing was just underway. So I think there were, I could be wrong here, but I think there were only like 6 tours in head-to-head, and tournaments were all pretty basic, and Royale was like the thing. It was a brand new game, and we were just, making sure it worked back then. I think there were 2 or 3 of us in QA. One of them was another intern from my high school at the time. So we were a real misfit bunch, but would come back for summers once I went off to college. And now working, doing game design, doing production type stuff. And it's just been phenomenal. I mean, what better gig, than making sports games?
Oh, no, absolutely. I do remember back in those days, back when you started. That's right when I started as well. I just got my 3-year pin for playing Ultimate Golf. And it's amazing how far the game has come. Like back then, like you said, there was only a couple of tours. The original version of this ball, the Pro D1, it was the best ball in the game at that time, and it was only a minus 50% win. There was only a couple of courses. And here we are now. You could have 3 courses every day of the week and still not play them all. Good start there, 826.
Yeah.
Not bad. So starting off in QA, so you had the chance to play the game a little bit. What are your expectations going into this? Are we gonna light it up? Are we gonna be happy with birdies?
Yeah. So what's funny is when I was in QA, I was obviously like playing was what I did. Like that was my job, was to play the game. And there would be times when, when we would debut new features and we would do, company-wide tests, and, guys like Mike would be in the game, and me and the other QA guys would just be lighting up the rest of the team because we played nonstop. That's all we did. I'm not in QA anymore, and I'm realizing like I feel less adept than I used to be. Like, pins weren't a thing when I was in QA. So this is not how I used to. Obviously, I still open up my phone and play a little bit in my free time, but I'm not like, pounding the pavement the way I used to. And I feel like on that drive, I kind of felt that was not an ultimate shot there. I think we're staying in the fairway, but.
Well, one of the nice things about the balls we have now is they've got that swing zone in there, so you can have a little bit off left and right. I wish I had this one in real life, where you can pull it a little bit and it's still going to go down the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, I am certainly not an ultimate golfer in real life. That's even my worst day in here is probably better than any real day I have on the course.
So, starting off with QA, so you progress through that part of your Ultimate Golf journey, and I know then you got into some Royale design. So I know this is a fantastic opportunity for us to announce right now that there are a pile of new Royales going to be dropping on Ultimate Golf soon, and I know you had a big hand in that. So I'm wondering if you could tell us, just give us a little like a teaser, like a trailer for a movie on maybe what we can expect from these Royales, and then talk about maybe your thought process on how you go about building these.
Gonna have to suspend belief a little bit on a few of them. You know, I love working on Royale. It is hands down my favorite mode in the game to work on, because you really get to kind of explore these courses we have, and we have beautiful golf courses in this game. Explore them from angles that you never would in a tournament or a head-to-head unless you were really, really losing. And you probably would never explore in real life either. So, you know, why I really started getting into making those and why I think I did, you know, pretty well at it was I liked, you know, putting a ball on a roof of a house off the course, or you know, shooting from some bunker or some rough angle that you would never shoot on. And this next batch of Royales has a couple that are almost, you know, some might even say impossible shots. And it gives you a whole new way to view the course. I mean, whether it's when you're lining up the shot or when you get down to take it, you know, I really view that as like, you know, it's almost like an artistic expression of this game, getting to let you see, because our artists are incredible. I mean, those folks put in the work. They make this stuff beautiful, and a lot of times, you know, when we're competing, we don't stop to think about it and realize, you know, like, this is a very visually appealing game, and I think Royale really gives you a chance to explore some of that. So I'm definitely excited for these for this new batch to drop and to see some of the unorthodox angles, but really, really kind of awe-inspiring angles that we get to look at.
That's awesome, because as you play this game, and let's face it, it's not super easy, but most of your shots are going to be on the fairways or just off in the rough and that. And it's not like the real world where I know myself personally, I've taken shots out of people's backyards. I've been worried about, did that actually hit a car, or was that a different sound, stuff like that. And like you said, the artistry in that in this game, like even now sitting here watching you play, I'm going, I didn't realize there was pools in the backyard of all those houses along the right side of that fairway. How cool is that attention to detail? But I know myself, I'm very, very excited to see these new Royales, see what you come up with, and have some fun with them. I'm a big fan of the Royale game. That's what got me started on Ultimate Golf, and I'm very excited to see these.
I'm actually going back to that pin I had.
Eagle on 3, so there's your first eagle of the match. I believe that puts you -4 after 3, so decent start here at Saadiyat. We are playing the Saadiyat Beach golf course. Of course, one of our 3 featured out of the UAE. This one's actually on Saadiyat Island, designed 2010, and it is, oh, come back, no, at over 7,800 yards. It is tough off the tee, as Andrew just showed us there. Some of these fairways not easy to hit. This is definitely got one of those courses.
Greedy on that one.
Oh yeah, I would. It's the grip it and rip it, right? We all want to. We all want to just pound it as far as you can every time. That is, you don't always get to do that on a golf course. So when you're playing a golf game, it's like, just I want to hit it as far as I can.
Saadiyat definitely, I will say Saadiyat might be my favorite course in this game. If I had to choose,
It's definitely up there. I love that it's along the water. It's like you get with the Harbor Town, you get the Torrey Pines. In my course research before this, it is actually the first course in Abu Dhabi that is right beachside, that is right on the water on the Arabian Sea there. And the people of the UAE were super proud of that to be able to show off the course and show off the water. And like, look at the graphics there. There's whitecaps on the coming in off the sea there. That's incredible. So have you always been interested in games? Like, did you grow up? Were you a gamer growing up? Were you a Nintendo guy? Were you a PlayStation guy? You're younger than me. I probably can't even say Nintendo. PlayStation or Xbox? Which one was it?
I was more Xbox. I definitely leaned Xbox, mainly just because it's one of those things where, you know, growing up around it, it's a social thing, you know. So you get the console your friends have. So, you know, I think over time it was funny, you know, when the 360 and I think PS3, I think my little elementary school friend group was probably like 60-40 in favor of Xbox. But then when Xbox One and PS4 come out, because there are more guys on Xbox, some of the PS3 guys switched to the Xbox One. and then the next generation of consoles come out, and I think more guys started switching to Xbox. Now I think it's kind of, it's whatever whoever I'm hanging out with has. I'm probably not a super competitive gamer. I was definitely very into sports games. Sports games was always it for me. I don't know. I think I didn't have the reflexes for some of the first-person shooters out there, but no. I mean, I've always been a big sports fan too. All growing up, being on a team was always a big thing for me. One of those guys who had a sport every season, fall, winter, spring type athlete. And now, when I say athlete, I mean athlete in the sense that I was on the team, not in the sense that I was any good.
Gotcha.
And then just always watching sports, always wanting to talk about it when I get back to school. So sports games are just kind of a way to live that out. Seeing Andrew batting third for the New York Mets was real exciting. Playing the show or something like that, or making myself the center on the Devils. Obviously, still a big Devils fan. So,
you do talk about that, how you are an overall sports guy and like to talk sports. I do the same thing when I get with my buddies. It's always just such a natural thing to talk about. And one of the things that we like to talk about is like the whole greatest of all time, who's the GOAT. Specifically, I just had a conversation recently, so I'm going to pose you this question. Now, it's a little bit long-winded, so hang on to the end. But so, when we think NBA and we think GOAT, I mean, you got to think of names, obviously LeBron, you go Kobe, you go Michael Jordan. But the difference between them is they were all in different eras, right? And for me, the different eras of the NBA, one of the biggest differences was the length of their shorts. So my question to you is, how important is short length in cross-country running?
Okay. I see you did a little bit of research on this one. Running was the first sport, right? The term marathon comes from ancient Greece. I think it was the Peloponnesian War, right? And if you look at ancient Greek statues and Roman statues and you see how they dressed, that's kind of ideal for running. So I ran track and cross country in high school. That was the one sport when you're as skinny as I am that's an advantage. I had to give up on my NHL and NFL dreams because of the noodle arms, but I really picked up running. Running was definitely a passion of mine for a long time. And I was kind of known among my teammates as a guy who wore very short shorts. That was my thing. And for me, it was just like, I like when I played hockey, I wouldn't wear socks in my skates. Like I've in every sport always been like the least on me imaginable. Like I've always wanted to be like, just because I get hot, like for no other reason than that. So when I was running and growing up in the South, summer training, it's sun isn't even up and it's 95 degrees. So yeah, no, I was like a 1-inch inseam short kind of guy when I was a runner.
I have, oh no, finds the left rough here, Hyp Andrew does, talking about his 1-inch inseam.
Yeah.
These are, right, I understand we've all got some famous clothes and maybe even some that have inspired a nickname that sticks around for a long time.
That's true.
I've seen a picture of these actual shorts, actually, and you were actually wearing a jersey on top. It was a jersey from your frat that had the number 24 on it, which I understand is a very important number. Now, if you look right over my head here, I don't know if you can see, there's a picture of me driving a NASCAR. Then I've got another one over there, another NASCAR picture over there. So I too am a big fan of all sorts of sports. I was a big fan of car racing. What I didn't do, though, is tell anybody that Jeff Gordon was my dad.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're probably Jeff Gordon's age, so that would have been kind of weird.
You're right. I am his age. Jeff Gordon, of course, the 24 car, was a fantastic driver. I wore number 11 the entire time because I picked that number when I was like 3. And Andrew, what was your hockey number?
I was 24 in hockey.
So if we were to join a men's baseball team right now, and as I said, Andrew, you can pick any number you want, what would you pick?
I'm always 24. I have
24.
never not worn 24.
It's so fun, eh? How as a sports guy you have a number and it's just kind of like part of your identity now.
Oh, for sure, for sure. What was funny, for me, like I said, ran cross country in high school. Our cross country team, and usually running you don't have jersey numbers, but our school the racing shirts had numbers on them, and they were sorted by size, right? So there was one, there were 25 on the team. So we had jerseys 1 to 25 sorted by size. Being one of the fast guys, like I said, I'm a smaller guy. I probably should have been like number 3. I traded with this kid who was a bit bigger. He was on the JV team. I was a senior. I was the captain. And I was like, look, I will do anything to have number 24. And he's like, does this even fit you? And I'm like, no, but that doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
And literally, like my jersey and my senior year photos, goes down to here. Like, my arms, everything's all out. Like, I have to tug that thing in super deep. But I had to be 24. It's, yep. I would not accept anything else. And I definitely couldn't not only not be 24, but have someone else on my team be 24. That would have been even worse.
That would be way worse.
It was like, if the team only once I was on a team where the numbers, cross country, there's only 7 guys on varsity. My junior year of high school, numbers only went up to 7. They had 7 varsity jerseys, and that was it. So I took number 6 because that's 2 plus 4. But that was the only team I was ever on where I wasn't 24. And then the next year, when they brought back the bigger numbers, I took 24 again.
Makes sense. So, for those of you wondering the rest of this story, a young Andrew apparently told a teacher that Jeff Gordon was his dad. Which is hilarious, by the way. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, nice shot. Oh, that almost went.
That would have been just a tap in here.
So we're still on track. We're birdieing all the par 4s, eagling the par 5s. We got a nice little round going here. Once we get through the turn, number 10 is going to be our golden opportunity for an eagle, I think. But playing well so far, Andrew. Good job, man.
Not too shabby. We got another par 5 here, so that's a good opportunity.
This is a long, like I said, this course is over 7,800 yards long. It's almost 8,000 yards. It's one of the longest courses out there. And it definitely plays that way in Ultimate Golf. And that's where you get an opportunity. You can see Andrew using the brand new Pro B3 ball, one of the first or second ever ball released with a plus 12 power. The only other option is the DXmas ball, and it's 0 wind reduction. So it is the only wind reduction ball with a plus 12 power. Perfect for a long course like this. Hammered the drive.
It just doesn't stop moving.
Nothing wrong with that. So now, Andrew, I am a hockey family. So I live in Ontario, not just north of Buffalo, Niagara Falls area. I got 3 kids. They all play hockey, and legitimately, I just drive to the hockey rink from September till June. And I know you played a little bit of hockey growing up, a little bit of rep hockey in that. Mm-hmm. Do you still get a chance to play any men's league at all? When's the last time you threw some skates on?
It has been criminally too long. Criminally. I did grow up played a little bit of double A for a couple of years. Had to give it up in high school because obviously, I mean, hockey's a travel intensive sport anywhere you play it, but I grew up in Florida. The game is growing down here. It is growing super fast. It is, obviously the Lightning and the Panthers owning the Eastern Conference definitely helped that. But every away game was like a minimum 90-minute drive, and I kind of reached a point where it was like hockey was the only thing I could spend my time on, and I kind of wanted to do a little more in high school. Wanted to join some more teams, get better grades than I was getting. So I dropped hockey when I was 16 to focus on school. And now I'm at the University of Florida, which is in North Central Florida. It's in Gainesville for our, college football fans. There is no rink in Gainesville. The closest one is in Jacksonville, 90 minutes away. So I have not played in a while. I brought all of my old sticks up and donated them to the fraternity house. And whenever there's a night of drinking, usually we'll crush a beer can into a puck shape and play on the basketball court.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
A little bit of beer hockey is the most that I've gotten in a while. After college, presumably I'll move back to a city where there's ice, and then I'll get back into it. But got a little bit more time before I can do that.
All right, Andrew, here is our chance to snag yourself an eagle. You can see with that plus 12 ball there, this green is drivable. You're going to get there, hopefully, off the tee here. Get a little top spin on there. Get it pointed out towards that hole. We'll hit the putt, and we're going eagle. We got this. We're starting the back with an eagle. Give it everything you got.
That power pin and a little bit of tailwind also really helps.
Yeah, so the nice thing about this plus 12 ball that we just released there, it's almost designed for like a situation like this. So if you had headwind off the tee here, it would have been tough to get on the green if you had like a 10 power ball or like a 9 power ball with that 12 power and the wind reduction, 82%. I mean, you just throw a topspin pin or like you did the plus 20 pin, and there you are dancing. Hit that putt. Hit that putt. Yes!
I put out a little bit of uphill on it too. I was nervous I was going to lose it.
So you can see the undulations in the green in that, and that is like to the 16th of an inch what that green looks like sitting over there in the UAE right now. They get all the pictures and the drone footage and all that, and it is amazing how accurate these greens are. So like you said before, good job on the graphics, good job with the realism on these courses as well. So you were talking UF. Obviously, I saw a couple pictures there. Maybe you had attended a football game or two. Of course, sober. Of course, sober. I saw those pictures. 100%.
The drinking age is 21 in the United States.
And that's right, of course. I've never been to a U.S. collegiate football game. I've been to some hockey games and stuff like that. How crazy is it when you have 50, 60, 70, some places 110,000 people in a venue like that? Like, what does that feel like, especially when it's your school playing, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So the Swamp is our official capacity is 90,000. We packed it to 91, 92 a couple times since I've been here, and there's really no sports experience like it anywhere. It kind of reminds me of, I think it's the closest thing the United States has to the pandemonium of soccer in the United States in how personal it is. Like you said, especially like if you go there or went there, or even just grew up around the team, it's like that is your community, right? Like the Gators are, more than a football team that I watch, and I'm passionate about all my teams. But every pro team I follow is, a pro team I follow. Florida's where I live. It's, that's the community I go to. That's the school I go to. It's, where I have, I work on campus. Like that is just a huge part of who I am. And everyone around me shares that in common. And another thing that's so distinct about college football, because I've been to games at Florida State as well, a couple other schools, smaller schools, and just the way we have our own distinct cheers, the way every time we go out on offense, it's, go Gators, come on Gators, get up and go. Like that's just so. And if you have a seat like in the tie, if you're in the nosebleed, then you just look down on a sea of blue and orange, and everyone is doing the same motion. Everyone's screaming the same thing. I mean, the ground is shaking. It is incredible. I mean, it is the coolest experience American sports culture has to offer. And I like we said earlier, there are probably sports I enjoy more than football, but the environment of a college football game, especially in the SEC, nothing like it. Nothing like it. I really want to go to some of those Big Ten stadiums like Michigan and Ohio State, because I know they kind of have a vibe that's almost as intense as the SEC. I don't want to say as intense, but they come close, and it's something. I mean, it is really something to be a part of.
I was lucky enough to go to I haven't been to a football game, but I got to go to Louisville to see, what did I go to, Elite 8 game, Sweet 16, Elite 8 game. And what got me was the guys walking around. Princeton was playing, and guys that I swear were in their 70s and 80s walking around wearing like a Leatherman jacket from 50, 60 years ago. And I'm sure the same thing happens in the football where, like you said, the cheers and the chants and that there's some dude that graduated 60 years ago that's sitting next to a kid that's second year, and they're saying the exact same thing, and they know exactly what to do and what, like, that is pretty special. Like, that is super cool. Something.
Yeah. No, I was once in a CVS wearing I was in a CVS wearing just a Florida Gators t-shirt, and a guy comes up to me in a Florida Gators polo, and it was game day, and I was at home. I was not in Gainesville, but because this was during COVID when the stadiums weren't full, so I didn't win the ticket lottery that week. So I was, I don't remember what I was doing at a CVS, just buying something, and this guy comes up to me in a Gator polo, and he shows me the ring on his finger is a class ring.
Oh, no way.
I want to say 1964. He tells me that he was defensive lineman on the team from like 60 to 64, and he was like that was just too. And he said he was in the UF Athletic Hall of Fame. And I went back when next time I was in Gainesville, I looked, and sure enough, it was the guy I ran into in a CVS. And I'm just like,
wow,
this is it is something to share with people, cross ages, cross time and space,
That is pretty cool. Nice drive there, by the way.
Yeah. Looking at another.
So look at Rattler approach. No, it switches over to the Hive. So here, we'll give you a little, your adjustment's going to be around 7-ish rings. Oh no, 2.3. 2.7 times 2.3. That's what your adjustment's going to be on this shot. Yeah, just under 7 rings. So for those of you wondering, I'm talking about rings and adjustments and all that stuff. So each club has its own value on how much it's going to move, how much the wind is going to push it. So I've played this game a lot, so I know that the Hive, at its maximum range, you got to take whatever the wind is and times it by around 2.3, multiply it by 2.3. So in that situation, you needed to move like around between just over 6 rings. So that is a way, that's why those rings are there, guys, to figure out exactly where your ball is going to land, how far the wind's going to push it. And there's lots of things. I've got videos, other guys have videos. You can, if you join the Facebook group, join the Discord group, guys are always talking about adjustments and what the different club values are and stuff. So if you're looking to kind of take your game to the next level and start turning those 500 and 600 TBs into 700s, into 800s, maybe up into the 850s, definitely get involved in the community, join one of those groups, and you can learn a thing or two and start improving your scores. So hole 14, tailwind again here. Beautiful Saadiyat Beach golf course. Look at the sides of this trap. Shockingly, in the middle of the desert, they got a lot of sand on the course.
See, look, this is one of those, like, from the tee box. I mean, this is just such a pretty shot. Like just shooting over that giant bunker towards all those houses.
It's intimidating. I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm playing Saadiyat Beach golf course, I'm probably taking a cart because it's going to be about 120 degrees. And it's 7,800 yards. Oh, look at that straight headwind shot. That's actually what you want on your approaches. There you go. Lots of backspin. See if we can get one close here, Andrew. Get in the hole. Get in the hole. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. Oh, just leaves
a little
it short.
Too much backspin.
Ain't nothing wrong with an 866, though. Nice shot, man.
Alrighty. So let's see, how many under does that leave me for the whole thing?
So we're sitting at 18 under right now, 4 holes to play. Alright, we're going to start the long par 5, number 15. Got another question for you. You know, this is going to involve some research. So I noticed a change in Andrew between 2021, 2022. We went from Team Beard to Team Mustache. Team Beard to Team Mustache. What decided? What happened to make you go with the lip sweater instead of the full beard?
The honest answer to that, you know, it's kind of funny.
Maybe I don't want the honest answer.
No. It's
give me a good answer.
No, I had always been Team Beard, and going into that summer, broke up with my high school sweetheart, and decided I needed a rebrand. Needed a whole new look, needed a whole new vibe. Going back to the college football thing, that week was the orange and blue game, which, for those who don't know, every football school has a spring scrimmage game where half their team plays against the other half their team. Ours is called orange and blue for obvious reasons. And it's great because football season is why you go to an SEC school. I mean, that and supposedly the academics. But you know, that's really like the thing is, you know, tailgating, and it's the one day of the year where we get to have a tailgate in spring. So everyone gets super excited about it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm single for the first time in college. It's the one tailgate of the spring. I'm just gonna do something crazy, something stupid, something that looks funny. And I shaved my beard off, thinking I was gonna look like a goofball. Some would say I do. But I actually really liked it. I thought it looked better on me than a beard did. And you can go back and review some of those shots of the week video. See for yourself what y'all think, but I personally like this look better.
I like the stash. I think it suits you, and it was better than going Team Mullet. He was either mustache or a mullet, and he went mustache. I like it.
Yeah,
I didn't know that you had broken up with your girlfriend. And then I was like, oh god, what have I brought up?
that was it. I mean, this was like a year and a half ago now, so
wounds have healed.
But yeah.
So what was your? We always seem to be going back to UF football stories. So that inter-squad scrimmage game, obviously a fun one to happen in the spring. What's your most memorable game at the Swamp?
Ooh, not even a question. Actually, I guess it could be a question. I guess there are two. There are two clear winners. Well, there's one clear winner, and then an honorable mention that would have been the clear winner had it gone another way. So I'll go with the clear winner. For those who follow college football, you know, y'all may remember this season. For this past season wasn't the best for Gator football. You know, 6-6, lose the Vegas Bowl, but we started out against Utah, who going into that game I think was ranked 7th. They were top 10 going into the game. We were coming off a tough season. We were going into a new one. You know, year one of a new coach who we're really excited about. Going into that game against Utah, we're like, this is going to be a real tough test. Utah's got a star linebacker who transferred from Florida, so we're like, it's a little personal. It's a tight game whole way through. Late in the fourth quarter, we take a lead. We're going up 29-23, but it's only a field goal, right? So that's a close ball game. They get a couple big plays right off. They got to run a 2-minute drill. They get like a 50-yard pass, I want to say. Like they march downfield. They're on the goal line. So we were worried they were going to get into field goal range. Now with like 30 seconds or so left, it looks like they're gonna put up the game winner on us, and their marching is, you know, not our best defensive performance. Don't remember what down it was, but it was and goal, so they were right there. They were knocking on the doorstep. Interception in the end zone. And I'm sitting probably 10 rows up in behind our end zone. So I'm just feet away. Like we watch this play develop, and the people that are in other parts of the stadium, other sections, they can't even really see what's going on, because you know how it is when you get in real close, right next to, right on the goal line. Kind of tough to make out what's going on. We are close enough that like our section knows it was an interception before the rest of the stadium. They throw the ball, we shoot up, and as the safety's intercepting that ball, he's going down, like he's diving on it. So it just looks like the ball kind of gets broken up, and then he jumps up and he runs out of the pile with the ball in his hand with it up. So like we go up, and then there's like a good 2 or 3 seconds, and then the rest of the stadium explodes. That play stands out in my mind as just the coolest sports play I've ever witnessed up close, and it was like up close. Like we're you know, hearing the cadence from there. Like it's incredible. The runner up to that, and it could have been the best had it gone another way. It wasn't the home opener. I think it was the second home game of my sophomore year. And this is the first year the stadium is filled after COVID. So we're all itching for football to begin with. At this point, we were coming off a really good season. We had higher hopes than how that season ended up panning out. But at that point, you know, we're 2-0. We're up against Alabama at home. And Alabama is an SEC West team. We're SEC East, so Alabama only comes through every couple of years. We get Bama at home, nail biter, whole way. At one point, we miss a PAT. We're down 8. We score a touchdown. We're going for the 2-point conversion. We don't get it. Had we nailed that PAT, we wouldn't have needed to go for 2. We probably would have sent Bama to overtime. And everyone's kind of whispering to themselves, like, we're debating this in the stands in real time, and maybe we jinxed ourselves. But fun fact about Florida, we have never rushed the field, ever, in school history.
Oh, really?
Part of why we've never rushed the field, and this is kind of a point of pride for us, is you rush the field when you beat someone you have no business beating. And for most of our history, we got business beating everyone. You know, we're not one of those who usually aren't. Yeah. We're usually not David against Goliath, but this time we actually were against this Alabama team. And people are debating, like in the stands in real time, people are like, should we do it? And some guys are like, no, we've beaten them 1,000 times. We don't have to do it. They're like, yeah, but what about the SEC championship last year? And it's, you know, this ongoing debate. And it's like, guys, we haven't even tied the game yet. And then we didn't tie the game. So maybe we jinxed ourselves there a little bit. I am a bit superstitious. I was team don't rush, but it ended up not mattering. But that was just a great game to be at. You know, they say there are no moral victories, but we all left that stadium chanting "It's great to be a Florida Gator," because we're like, damn, you know, our last game at that point, well, not our last game, our most recent SEC game to that point had been the SEC championship, where they only beat us by 6 and then went on to win the national championship. Then now they're only beating us by 2. We're like, damn, we're here, we're fighting with Alabama, this is great. Next week we lose to Kentucky. We're like, okay, never mind. And after that, the wheel came off the wagon. Coach gets fired. That was that. But at that point, we were feeling really good about ourselves.
What could have been? And
then this year's Utah game really takes the cake.
And talking about that pick in the end zone too, could you imagine being that kid like for the rest of your life? Like that's you, right? And you grew up. Like, if you grew up playing college football in the sick, like the guy you met at the gas at CBS or whatever, he doesn't have footage. Yeah. He can't go to his kids and say, "Hey, check this out. YouTube me. Look at this. You can see. Yeah. Look where Dad leveled this kid." But now, today's day and age, right? Like, if you do something amazing like that, like your kids are going to be able to say, "Hey, look at Grandpa Andrew was a stud back in college." It is pretty cool. All right, Andrew, we are coming to an end here. We're going to hit this putt on 18. That gives us, if my math's correct, a 23 under at the Saadiyat Beach Golf Course. Good job, Andrew. Not bad.
That's not too terrible. Not too terrible. All right, guys.
That is another VIP tournament here on Ultimate Golf. I'm Duff. If you want a chance to win some fantastic prizes, go ahead, play this Saadiyat 18 hole. You saw every single shot Andrew took there. You're going to have a chance to beat those, win some great rewards. Go look at some of the other very special VIPs we have as well. The Play the Pros one. Get a chance to play against a certain Mr. Woods at Torrey Pines in his 2008 US Open round. A couple bucks to play it, but I tell you, it is worth it. The rewards are
That's a fun one.
Way over and above what you're going to pay to play that one. And I've even got one. Duffy the Vampire Slayer had a little bit of fun. All right, Andrew, thank you so much. I'm Duff, your host. This has been another Ultimate Golf VIP Tournament.